Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'm going to be pruning up my giant sequoia forest for the last time of this season. You can see since the last pruning, the trees have put on some pretty good growth, really extending in some areas. There is one tree that's suffering a bit in here. It had some good strong growth and then the tips turned brown. So I'm not sure what's happening with that one, but we'll see how it does. We'll prune it up and see how it does in spring. My objectives for this forest is to keep it as small as I can. They will grow, each year, and I may have to eventually replant them, spacing the trees out more, but so far they're doing well. They're kind of staying to size. So I'm happy with the results of the pruning last time. I've kept a lot of my lower branches, even though some of them are weak. But yeah, there's some good strong growth down lower on the trees still. So let's get pruning. The last time I pruned these trees, I tried different techniques, pinching, pruning with scissors, and it didn't seem to make much difference. The trees kind of reacted fairly well. There was no big trauma on them. So again, I'll repeat that process. So I'll start with this little tree out front here. There's a dead branch in the bottom I can prune off. Another one on this side. Like that. There's a dead piece here. I think it's a whole branch. Yeah. Gotta come in and prune the branch I want. Oh, that didn't get it. Here I go. Like that. I'll remove some of the old brown needles off the trunk. There's a little bit of browning up top here that just plucked out. Okay, so the tree is cleaned up fairly well now. Now I'll come in and do the actual pinching or pruning on the tree. So I'll start with this branch here coming out front. I've pruned it once here, so I think I'll prune it. I'm going to prune that new top growth off. So here I go, taking that off. And then I'll need to pinch this growing tip, like that. There's some strong growth out the side here. I'll prune the top part off, like that, and pinch the tip. Like that. The apex is quite nice on it. It's got nice fine growth. There's one vertical one here I could prune off. I could just pinch the very tip of this one, like that. There's some vertical growth down here I can prune out, like that. There's a strong lower branch here. I can prune that to make it more compact. I'll take the tip growth out, like that, and then I'll prune everything else back. There's some vertical growth here I can take out. Keeping all my branches, my lower branches, in the light. Trying to keep them if I can. This one's really weak here, but I'll just leave it alone, see what happens. There's some tip growth here I can pinch out. Now there's a strong branch or two out the back here. I will remove this third branch I just pinch the other ones back. Oh, I can't. Here's some vertical growth on this one I can take out. Like that, and then pinch the tip back. This one's a little long. I'll pinch the tip off it. Some vertical growth here I can remove. And I think that has got tree number 1 pruned up. I could pinch some of these front ones back a bit more. Yeah, so that's got the first tree pruned up. It's looking good. I'll switch now to the tallest tree in the forest, this one here. It's getting quite a thick trunk on it. It's looking really good, good branching. There is a lower branch down here, a dead one I can prune out. Like that. There's a dead one down low here I can prune out. That. And there's a dead one at the back here that I will also prune away. There goes that one. Now, are there any other dead branches? There's one here that's not looking very good. Yeah, it needs to come out. It's just not growing. Still slightly green at the base, but not healthy looking. If I can get it out. There it is. So you can see what's green on it is a kind of a yellowy dull green. It's not a healthy branch. So that gets pruned out. Oh, there's one up top here, a dead one. I can prune that one out. Like that. So that's got all the kind of dead and weak branches pruned out. So this one I'll start up here in the apex. I'm pruning it to a triangular form or a conical form. I'll prune this one back to here. And I don't expect any more growth this year. So I'm just pruning all these apex shoots back. Now the trees may stay green for maybe another month, but I don't think they'll grow. I think it's just going to be dormant now for the winter. There's a vertical shoot here I can take out. Another one here. There's a long branch coming out the front. I'll prune it back. This one can get pruned back. So some of these branches were starting to overlap the trees beside them, blocking light getting to them. So that's why I think it's important to prune it now to get light to these branches. So over the winter, they'll get some light and hopefully grow well in spring. There's a vertical one here I can take out. here. Take that tip off. Use this one back. And there's some out the back here that need pruning. I'll take that vertical tip off this branch and then shorten them back. Now there's a very, very strong branch here coming from down below. So I'll need to prune it quite hard. So I will take this big vertical piece off. Reduce it back anyway. Taking that whole branch tip off. So I'm not worrying too much about the branch placement at the moment. More just getting them compact. And as they mature, I'll pick branches that look good, prune away the others. There's another vertical shoot I can take off. This one back. There's a crossing branch here I can take out. Getting more light to the good branches. Take this one out. Just thinning it a bit. And there's one behind here that needs pruning back. And I think it's got to come off this vertical part of it. Like that. And then there's back here. Branch is getting quite long. And it's growing into the other trees, so I'll take it back. So I'm looking from above now, making sure my conical form's looking good. Not too long here. These trees smell nice when you prune them. And it's very important in a forest to work from above to make sure branches aren't interfering with the trees beside them. It helps you get that conical form too. Okay, that's looking quite good now. I'll leave it at that, and I may come back. I still have a few branches interfering here, so I may come back and revisit those. I'll take that part off there. Yeah. So there's the tallest tree in the forest pruned up. I'll just remove some of the old needles off the trunk line here. Cleaning that up a bit. Oh, there's one dead branch in here I missed. I'll take that one out. That one there. Okay, yeah, that tree's looking good. I'll prune up the rest of the trees in the forest now using a similar strategy that I did on the first two trees, and then we'll come back and see how the forest looks. I have finished the pruning of the trees, so this is what I took off. A fair amount. Some dead branches and a lot of live branches. So let's have a look at the forest now. Here it is, pruned up. The form looks much better, and when you view it from above here, you can see each tree is separated from the others. All the branches have sunlight. I did have to remove a few of the lower branches. Some of the trees had some strong shoots coming out from the lower part of the trunk, and I think it was taking vigor away from the top of the tree, especially this one that was weak up top. It was had some very, very strong shoots at the base, so they were kind of taking over, I think. So I pruned those off, and we'll see what happens to it. So all of this pruning is a bit of an experiment. This is a new species for me. This is the fourth summer of growing these from a seed. And so far I'm really happy with the results. I think it's looking quite good. I'll show you a shot of these trees from the beginning of this year. I think it was back in like January where I arranged them into this forest. And you can see how much they progressed in just 1 year. Here is a look at the forest today. So you can see the trunks have gotten much thicker this summer. They're maturing, they're starting to get some bark on them. The structure of the trees is looking good, and the overall composition looks nice. I do have to do some weeding now. I noticed after I cleared all those lower branches out that there's some weeds in the pot. So let me do that. All right, here I go. I'll see if I can get it out by the root. I hope so. I did on that one. I'll pick up any debris that's fallen down, needles, leaves off other trees. Weeding is quite important in these forests because if the weeds get too large and strong in the middle of the forest, it's really hard to get them out once the roots get established. So it's a good idea to keep up on the weeds, especially these weeds that spread. They'll drop more seeds and it'll just make your problem worse. There's another good one out there. Yeah, someone said these sequoias smell bad when you prune them, but I think they smell really nice. Has sort of a bit of a sour forest smell, I guess. Now this moss on this planting just grew here all by itself. I didn't plant it. So it's looking quite nice though. There's another weed out the back here I've got to get out. Got it by the roots. It's always satisfying when you get the root system out with the weed. Okay, I think it's looking good. Let's fly in now and have a final look at my sequoia forest. I expect the trees to stay dormant for the rest of this year, and then it'll be interesting in spring to see how they respond to this pruning, this late fall pruning. Hopefully, I'll get all kinds of good new growth all over the branches. We will see. After the pruning today, I'll be keeping the trees in the greenhouse, and I'll keep them well misted, keep them out of the severe weather, trying kind of take good care of them until spring. This year has been a big year for my giant sequoia forest. I gave the trees the first pruning and a few other prunings throughout the summer. I did the first root pruning in spring, arranging the trees in the forest, and the trees have reacted quite well. They're maybe not quite as predictable as, say, a juniper, but so far they're staying miniature. I'm keeping my lower branches, and yeah, I'm very happy with them as a bonsai. These trees are 4 years old from a seed, and I'm very happy with the forest. I think it's progressing well, and hopefully it'll just keep getting better. That is all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.